I am Mariana Mazzucato. I'm a professor at University College London, where I direct the Institute for Innovation and Public Purpose. So currently I'm working very closely with policymakers around the world on what would be an example of creating a different form of public-private partnership. And I think there's lots to learn actually from one of the most inspirational public-private partnerships that got us to the moon and back again in a generation. Going to the moon was actually addressing a challenge at the time, which was the space race. Going to the moon and back again was a concrete way to address that. It wasn't just blah blah space race or Sputnik. And to get there, lots of different sectors had to innovate and invest. This is very important given the amount of hoarded cash and financialization, if you want, that we have around the economy today. So sectors as different as aeronautics, which is the obvious one, to nutrition, to clothing and textiles had to innovate. And then all of government instruments were actually used to crowd in the bottom-up experimentation and exploration to get there. Lots of those projects failed. The ones that succeeded are in our smartphones today, from the internet to GPS, etc. But there's so many lessons there, which is instead of having handouts to sectors, whether it be the creative sector or the automotive or aeronautics, to formulate problems which then require new forms of public, private, and increasingly third sector partnerships, investing in innovative to tackle that concrete goal, and using procurement policy, prize schemes, grants, and loans to get there. But that also requires risk-taking and explorative capacity inside public institutions. And this is something that today we don't have because the way we're training civil servants is basically to fear failure. And even though Steve Jobs told the Stanford graduating class, be hungry and foolish, civil servants are not told to be hungry and foolish. So really the implications of having a mission-oriented approach to investing towards achieving the concrete problems that are required for the Sustainable Development Goals requires really rethinking how to use instruments, again, procurement and prize schemes, but also how we actually welcome risk-taking, exploration, and experimentation, both in the private sector and in the private sector, and increasingly, I would argue, in civil society organizations that are very important around those areas like the future of health and the future of green innovation across the whole economy.